And good morning, space engineers. This is Mr. Kasarian.
And this is Tucker.
And we are back, playing Space Engineers Survival. So, Tucker, what did we decide to do?
Well, I decided that it was time for us to actually get a space station set up instead of constantly working on mobile ships, simply because it is going to be much easier if we actually have a hangar that we can build things out of. And you and I both decided to go ahead and put it basically right next to us anyway. So what I'm going to go ahead and mostly be doing this episode is getting rid of this giant asteroid that is currently blocking the sunlight from where our planned station is going to be.
Sounds good to me. I'm going to be working on a welding ship because, well, we need one.
I do actually have a question about that as well. Say we have that hangar set up. Do large ship welders do more than small ship welders?
You know, I've never used large ship welders.
Because we could potentially put them all around on the outside walls of the hangar. And maybe if we did it correctly, then we could actually make it so that instead of us having to go around and manually do any welding at all, it could be completely automated.
I've seen a couple designs like that, but they tend to be somewhat difficult due to lack of articulation.
True.
Alright, so we're going to go with another large reactor, I think, for this one. Because they are more efficient. Except I'm not certain if I placed it the right way. Okay, yep, I am. Alright, so then we're going to have the cargo container. Another medium one. And we're going to rotate it like this. And for those of you who can guess, this is essentially a very similar ship to this one over here. With some things placed a little bit differently, but that's neither here nor there. Namely, we're putting the... yeah, I'm trying to make it a little bit more compact.
Which we do certainly have the ability to do, and especially considering that it's just going to be a welding ship, we won't really have to worry about future advancement into a weapon ship or anything like that. It's purely going to be for making it so that we don't have to sit around and weld things by hand.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so... yeah, and it's going to help a lot, both with the Titan and this base, because the base itself is going to be... ugh.
I understand that you don't like, waiting for the base to be built. That's why we're building the welding ship before we actually build the base.
Very true. Alright, no. I want to have a curved tube come up. Alright, so we're going to flip that over. And then how did you do it? Do you have these flush with the cockpit or just in front of the cockpit? You have them just in front. On the Hujima Whatsits. On the welder, on the recycler.
Ah.
I'm sorry, guys. It's 1 a.m., so I'm just a little tired. A little bit past my bedtime.
And my bedtime is generally around 4 a.m., so I'm not tired at all.
No, that's good for you. I wish block placement range was just a wee bit longer.
That would make things a bit easier.
So the other thing we did, and I'm going to get yelled at this by people saying, oh, cheating, cheating, cheating. We turned off thruster damage. Alright? Because, honestly, one, I know that I don't like how thruster damage is modeled in this game. 1 motor, 5 displays, 15 computers.
And neither do I, because honestly, thruster damage should be straight line back if you're in space, because there is no ambient heating of the atmosphere that would cause it to be a 3x3 behind the motor, or behind the thruster.
And, you know, Nick and I have both agreed that we're not going to abuse it horribly. We're still going to, you know, at least try and be reasonable about things. And not go completely overboard. Fun as that may be. Alright, let's,
We will do that eventually in a creative style area.
Exactly. But for right now, I need 9 metal grids and 50 reactor codes. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't fit with some of the stuff I want to do, and either of us wants to do, and it's just, it's honestly not, you know, not working for our style.
Yeah, it's just not going to work for us at this point.
5 motors and 15 computers. Oops, I didn't mean 115, I just wanted 15. Not like we don't have enough spare components.
And it's not like we don't have enough, you know, ships that we're going to need to go ahead and cycle through anyway.
Yeah.
Especially because, you know, I can always just go and grab some more.
Well, I guess I know what I'm going to be doing offline.
Yeah, you're basically going to be, yeah, while I'm at work, you're going to be sitting there and carving up all of the ships that I pirate.
Yeah. Which is actually not too bad. I actually enjoy that stuff.
I'm sure that you will get very annoyed because that is what you're mostly going to be doing in order to get all of the materials.
Yeah.
Because at this point, because we have that grinder, we really don't have any need to realistically be
4 computers, 6 motors, and a display.
Really using the miner for anything but, like, just outrageous, like, just getting rid of material.
Yeah, or magnesium.
Well, even magnesium, all that we need to do in order to get magnesium on the setup is simply go after military ships.
Which we need magnesium to make missiles first.
True, so we will need magnesium first in order to do that, but once we get that, we won't need to worry about it.
And also, it is actually more efficient to get for plates if we're not eating military ships all the time.
Yeah.
Be very careful if that military escort comes into range.
It won't.
Okay.
I've actually done a bit of calculation on that. They generally disappear around 3,000 meters away if they do get that close. And I did that in single player before I actually started the series with you.
Okay, awesome.
Because I was kind of concerned with how they were disappearing before they actually got to me.
It really depends. I think they travel for a set amount of time. Because I was out in deep space with the Titan at one point, just actually picking apart a ship I captured. And I had some sails that were actually getting 10-6. I had some private sails and commercial transports that were actually closing to within a kilometer of me.
Well, then I'm not exactly sure.
I think they follow set paths.
Most likely.
I think it's a combination of timing. Like, they will fly for X amount of time.
Yeah,
it's
and
not uranium that limits it. It's an internal clock. And that clock is reset, by the way, as soon as you set foot inside the command chair, or if you're within a certain range. And I think it also stops the clock or eliminates it completely if you dock to it. Because I know there were a bunch of YouTubers I watch who were concerned, they were docked to a military vessel and they were an NPC vessel. And they were worried that, it was going to despawn and take their ship with it.
That would be concerning.
But I don't actually think it's an issue.
It most likely isn't, but we may want to watch out for that.
Yeah.
So this asteroid is now, number one, full of, flying stone all over the place.
I'll eventually move the Titan over there and take care of that.
Yeah.
So
Basically, we just need something to, just kind of be a gravity well for like half a second so that they all drop.
So I need 6 computers, 6 motors, and 24 small steel tubes.
Actually, as soon as I'm done with this line, I'm actually going to go ahead and hop over to my rescue vehicle and move it into position.
Okay. Oh, I think we have enough computers.
Yeah, I looked at that and I was just like, why do we have, I think it was 8,000 computers last time I checked?
Part of me just wants to start chucking all this stuff into the disassembler. Get the raw materials so we can just say, okay, craft me 3 welders.
Yeah.
And then just take the product straight out of the assembler. But that seems like a waste of energy to me.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So how about we not capture any more ships until we run out of materials that we have? And once we start running out of some materials, we'll just start disassembling stuff.
Okay.
I know you love capturing your ships, but...
I do.
At this point, it's actually a little too easy, in my opinion, but...
Yeah, well, that's because we happen to have done it how many times already?
Yeah, point taken. And we also know which ships and how to take them, and...
Yeah.
Like, honestly...
We are experienced pirates.
In terms of risk-reward, the mining... What is this thing called? All I can think of is a mining skiff. But that's not it.
The mining transport, the mining
Mining
carrier. Yeah, carriage.
Mining carriage. That's honestly the easiest one.
Yeah, other than the private sale. But the private sale doesn't really give you much.
No, yeah. I think in terms of risk-reward, you're better off with the...
Mining carriage, yeah.
Yeah, because it has a lot of materials as part of it.
Yeah, it has a... Usually, like, you get somewhere around the range of about 8,004 per one that you grab.
Yeah. So I need 7 tubes, 2 motors, 3 computers. Let's see. 7 tubes. I completely forgot my timer.
Well,
2 motors. And a couple computers.
Then this episode may run a little bit over.
Indeed. Okay, so flip that over. Oh, nothing like working in 0G.
It is always fun. Although right now I'm actually working with 1G and quite enjoying how all of the stone is now just dropping away from the ship.
Which is probably why I'm watching my CPU usage tick up, but...
Most likely, considering... Although, how many items do you have set in this?
a couple thousand.
Instead of the normal 256?
Yep.
Okay, then.
Because my computer can handle it.
Yeah, I understand. My computer can too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we actually, as our viewers probably know.
We basically have the same PC.
Yeah.
Except for you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and my processor is a little bit weaker than yours.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a quad M8.
Although realistically, almost no programs actually make use of the 8 course. So
Except for bloody space engineers.
yeah, for somehow like it helps.
Physics.
True.
This
But-
game is like huge on physics calculations.
True.
It's the way they've implemented their voxel deformation.
Yep.
And the fact that everything's... There are no shortcuts in the game right now.
No.
I need 6 large steel tubes. And yes, I'm showing you guys significantly more building than I normally would. But that's partially because I'm tired. Thruster components, that's what I need. Thruster components. And I did
I
have...
may have an issue.
What's your issue?
I just died outside of the mining vessel.
Where was she?
Oh my.
What?
You will not be happy.
You lost her, didn't you?
Just get up here.
Where is up here?
On the opposite side of the asteroid from the Titan.
Oh, I see you. What did you do? Oh, my life support's running low. Okay. The what? How did you... even... Huh?
I don't understand.
We'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. And we're back. We ended up restoring for previous save because we both decided that was a pretty obvious bug. Probably something to do with multiplayer server architecture.
Most likely.
So, what are you up to?
I am currently up to basically digging through this asteroid like a worm.
So, the bug was basically caused by... do you want to explain the chain of events to this?
Okay. I was using the mining, or our mining ship in its normal fire mode, so I was collecting stone. Basically what happened was, because I'm the client, and it is in a perfect connection, and I was in the ship, the medium storage container decided that it didn't want to, be existent anymore, so it just kind of dropped all its stuff and disappeared. It just so happened that I had 124,000 stone in that at the time of its abrupt disappearance. And that stone just kind of happened to appear right as soon as it disappeared. And it blew up Kess's ship.
Yeah, and I decided that that was a pretty obvious bug. Basically what can happen is the server, my computer is running as the server, which is fine. I have plenty of processing power, even hosting most of the physics calculations. I'm actually, when I'm not locked for recording, my CPU usage isn't trending too far above 50%. Now, part of that's because Space Engineers isn't programmed to use an 8-core processor to its full ability. Part of it's also because it's an 8-core, 4 GHz clock processor. So, the problem, however, is that I'm lazy. And I'm on Wi-Fi. Yes, my tower is on Wi-Fi. Because I have not yet had the wherewithal to go drilling through walls to actually run Ethernet. I have the cable. I have the drill bits.
But you do not have the motivation.
I work like 50 hours a week. And run a YouTube channel. Who thought that was a good idea?
Apparently you did when you started the channel.
Yeah, apparently. So, I'm on a Wi-Fi connection, and sometimes it decides to get a little derpy. And when it does, my computer and Nick's computer, Tekron's computer, have a mild disagreement over where he actually is at any point in time. Such as whether or not his cargo container is inside an asteroid or not.
And it just so happened to push me into the asteroid, and then the cargo container exploded, and, well, Kess was very upset. I was very confused.
Yeah, really. I wasn't really upset. My attitude was more of a, huh?
What happened?
Wait, what? How did you do that?
So we figured out that, it's just a bug with, Kess's laziness and my computer's, thinking that it's in the right position.
Yeah, and also it's just an issue of this game is early alpha. So
Despite it looking completely polished and done, it is not.
by any means. How am I going to fit these?
I am very close to being halfway done on this asteroid, by the way.
Oh, good.
So have you started the production of about 10,000 of those steel panels?
Hold one.
Because that's about how many we're going to need when we're done with this.
I just queued 4,000.
Okay. Do you realize that that will not be enough?
I know. I figure we can do it in stages.
Okay. If that makes you happy.
There's 6 large steel tubes. Though it's going to go a lot faster with a mining ship, with a welding ship.
Yeah.
Which is actually not too far from completion. Well, the thrusters are almost done at least. Yes, I was just actually sitting here agonizing over how I was going to do the thrusters, and then I realized I don't have to because... So my main concern, and let me talk you guys through this is one of my... Kess is going to build this thing as compact as possible builds.
Which generally don't turn out to go too well, because he doesn't think ahead when he tries to do them.
It's also 1:30 in the morning, so it's deferred. Now, put that there.
Well, either way, regardless of that, even when you are fully awake, you tend to just, attempt to do things without any kind of a plan, and then you complain about, oh, I should have put this block here. Why didn't I do that?
Yeah, that sounds like me. And usually this is also why, guys, I have a lot of jump cuts in my recording, because I'll get halfway through and I'll go, I need to rip this whole thing out now.
And replace it entirely.
But I actually think that that's, part of the fun. In a very Dwarf Fortress sort of way.
Yes.
That is a game. So, for my channel, while you're watching me weld stuff together, by the way, this part of the build, these 3 thrusters, would not be possible with thruster damage on.
No.
But it would be perfectly plausible anyways. We're not going to go there again. So, for my channel, I actually tried to record an episode of a Dwarf Fortress Let's Play. Here's the problem with Dwarf Fortress. It does not like fraps. At all.
No, it does not.
In fact, the best analogy of its reaction to fraps is severe allergy to it. To the point where I actually could not record it. It was literally physically impossible for my computer to record it. It worked fine, the game ran fine, and all you guys would have seen was a black box. OBS, same thing.
Well, that sounds like it would be the same issue with Fraps trying to record a video through Windows Media Player. I have seen that happen, and OBS does not like it. A lot of other programs do not like it. I do, however, know of a program that does not mind.
DX3.
XSplit.
I'm not paying for it.
You don't have to.
Oh, right.
There is a trial that you can do for as long as you want to. And it does give you everything except for 1080p recording, which you do not record in 1080p to begin with.
Nope. Because, as I was explaining to Nick, and I'm not sure if that was on camera, Takran.
We are still working on that.
Yeah. The reason I don't do 1080p, and I'm amazed this hasn't come up in my comments before, is because I don't want to deal with those file sizes. It's too much, and the encoding time is just way too long.
Even with his crazy computer?
Yeah. I mean, so, at the level I encode, an average video takes about...
Okay, never mind. Just your latency. It was about to break off a drone. We're all set.
We're all set, okay. So, my computer, lost focus, hold on. There we go. So, it takes me about an hour to encode a video. I do dual pass recording. By the way, those of you who want to see my settings, there'll be a video coming out soonish as to how I do what I do. I do a double bypass recording. Double bypass. I'm not having heart surgery. I do a two-pass encode on my videos. That takes, for my computer, about an hour for a 30-minute video. 1080p would take me...
I'd say roughly around 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah. So,
simply because of the extension and resolution size, as well as when you are recording in 1080p, there's also the audio increase as well.
Yes, it's not a minor thing. If there was enough outcry for it, I could probably never do it for my mainline series. Just, it's not possible. Videos that come out without a deadline, like, say, mod spotlights, special vids, that sort of thing, I might be able to do. Ooh, I do not have power in that yet.
For regular series, 720p is fine, especially because of the current issues with all of the internet service providers and video streaming services.
Yes, and I mean, let's face it, guys, the number of you who actually watch in 1080, who have the capability to watch in 1080p YouTube streaming, is pretty low. I wouldn't say it's non-existent, but I would say it's, probably fewer than 10% of YouTube viewers can actually do that.
I can do it, but only on days and times when there are very, very few users on at the time. Because one of the misunderstood things about internet is you are literally on the same line as all of your neighbors that are connected to the same internet service provider. Meaning, if your neighbors are using a lot of internet, your internet is going to go slower because of it. Because the lines have not been updated since, I believe, 2004.
Yeah. That's actually part of... Release that.
And that's actually where a lot of...
those aren't complete yet, are they? That's what the issue was. Yeah, and so it's why, I have a friend of mine who has Verizon Fios, which is what I have now. And he said to me, "Oh my god, man, don't get Verizon Fios, it's so slow." And he's saying, "I just switched to RCN and it was absolutely awesome. It's blazingly fast." I have RCN, or had RCN at any rate. I no longer have it because it was mind-numbingly slow. It would take me about an hour and a half to upload a 700 meg YouTube video. With Verizon, I am uploading about a gig video because my quality is better than it used to be, as my viewers have noticed. Actually, it's pretty much everyone has noticed. And it takes me maybe 15 minutes to upload it. And that is quite simply because I'm the only person on my street who uses Verizon. Like, I am literally, right now, my run has about 10 customers on it for an entire run.
And that is actually very good.
That is excellent for me.
Normally, those runs range anywhere from 100 to 300 people. And
Yes.
those lines can only run, at most, I believe it is 50 gigabytes per second.
The Verizon lines are a little higher.
Okay.
Because
Well.
up where I am, it's all Fios.
Yeah.
Like, Verizon they actually now just brought their fiber optic switching gear online. So, it's pretty. So, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. People will go to war over who's their favorite internet provider. The fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, it's going to vary depending on where you live and how many people are on your run and a whole host of other factors. It really has nothing to do with, oh, they are technologically superior to, such and such. I mean, certainly, if you have, DSL, good luck to you, sir. I hope you enjoy 5 minutes waiting for Google to load. But, once you're talking the cable providers and, the actual real internet service provider companies, it really doesn't matter.
So, Kassarian.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, I am no longer mining the asteroid.
I'm guessing there isn't an asteroid.
This would be correct. It is completely gone now.
Oh my.
And that was about half an hour of mining.
Yeah, I'd say. Which probably means that we're over in terms of video length, but I'm almost done with this welder, so all of you viewers, tough.
Well, as soon as you finish that welder, that'll probably be the end of the episode. So.
Indeed. So why don't I actually put in a little bit of a cut here, and we'll meet you guys back once the welder is finished, which we're about a minute or two away from. And we are back, guys. And if you notice, I am in the welding ship. Nick Tekran is actually underneath us right now.
And I am mining a hole down so that we can place our...
We forgot to bring a ship with a gravity well with us.
Yes, we did. Go and grab my ship real quick.
Alright, where did your ship go? There it is.
While Kassarian was finishing up on building his welder, I happened to have a bit of fun negating the gravity well's effects with the negative gravity well.
Yeah, that was entertaining. What ended up happening was, about halfway through, I'm like, oh, no big deal. Alright, so I'm right next to the Titan. Pop out of that. And I'm becoming temporarily disoriented in space again.
Okay, I'm going to just, should I back up and, out, or...
Well, I can't guide you out right now, because...
Well, basically, I just need to go straight back out by pressing D.
Yeah, let me get over there with the well first.
Okay. It is over here. You just have to hit K and turn it on because I actually had it set to 0.
Okay, I just need to... I forget how much this thing handles like a pig.
Yeah, it does.
You are now at 1G acceleration.
I see that.
I hear that. Which is weird in space, but okay. Alright, so... I will start working on the edge if you're coming in. If you're backing her out.
Yeah, I am.
So... this ship is as simple as pulling down your welder. We are now switched to weapon type welder. You look clear. We'll come into position. Look at how fast that is. Are you fully clear of the platform?
Yes. Oh, jeez. Why don't you just, just point it down. And just go across.
And by the way, all of these tools are highly impact resistant.
Yes, which is nice. Except for the drills, they aren't too good. Oh, and also, we have a ton of resources down at the bottom of this mining area.
Yep.
And they're tweaking out. They're just kind of hopping all over the place.
Do you want to pick them up?
Sure, if you can give me a second so that I can grab them all. Because I happen to need to empty out my inventory. As I always do. Because no matter how big your inventory is, it will always become full.
And no matter what game we're playing.
Yes, because I have very, very bad inventory management skills.
Huh. I'm out of steel plates again.
Go check my... I actually just put some in my ship. Because that was actually what was holding all of my stuff up. That was basically my inventory.
Oh.
I had 1,200 or so. I just remembered I have a lot more inventory space than I'm used to. I can pick up entire giant clumps of items.
Yep.
As compared to picking up approximately... I would have had to run back 4 times already.
Yep.
And I just picked up all of it in one run.
I think I missed a layer of blocks over here.
I think you did.
So let's take that out. By the way, for those of you viewers who care to understand, in the back of your brain, keep in mind how long we are spending on camera welding this platform. And just think about how long it usually takes me to do welding.
He is loving his welder.
I better believe I can't wait to get and use this on the Titan.
Oh, I'm sure. And I can't wait to use it on all of the ships that I planned.
Indeed.
And you are still not all that great at working with the ships. Katsarian still gets disoriented when he moves through 3D space.
Well, it's more that I'm actually being a derp and trying to do this in first person only.
Even in first person.
Because, I don't believe in fancy remotes. That's how I explain third-person cameras, by the way, guys. I use the EVE Online explanation for them.
Doo-doo-doo.
You know the welders can hurt you, right?
Yes, but there was a piece of stone that I didn't want to, screw you up.
And I'm backing away from the platform.
Okay.
So that took us maybe 10 minutes, including me mining out some more terrain. And it's done. Well, this part of it at any rate.
So, that would be the last thing that we had planned for this episode. So,
Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Mr. Kasarian.
and this has been Tekrin.
And as always, guys, happy mining.